Hi guys, how's it going? This is just a short video that discusses the announcement of the 1.25% increase in national insurance. Now, in fairness to the people of the UK, they have taken this rather well, or appear to have taken it rather well. Anyway, as we've seen a level of maturity that we've seldom seen, let's face it, in the last 6 years. So let's go. Now, I don't mean to be a smart aleck here, but in just the last 6 years, let's not forget, UK voters have voted for Brexit, number one, and voted for the Tories 3 times in a row, and in one of those elections, voted for a party led by a charlatan, liar, and a womanizer beyond anything we've ever seen before, or thankfully unlikely to see again in the future, you know? But even though the UK voters have, let's face it, okay, made the decision in their own minds that the NHS needs the cash, it appears to me at least that your everyday voter has either gone completely bananas or prematurely senile. Let's listen to others on this.
There is, at the moment, the polls suggest quite a lot of public support for just that sort of level and moving on national insurance, not on income tax. It seems to have a sort of special aura, national insurance. People see it as definitely being spent on nice things, they feel, like pensions and the NHS. The truth is it goes into a great big pot.
And he's right. Beyond a shadow of a doubt, he's right. This will end up in a single pot from which many, if not all, departments will feast. This national insurance is seen by the public as money for the NHS. It's bullshit. The government are going to raise about 13 billion from this and give 5 billion to the NHS. Now, these are the government's figures. They're not my figures, that's their figures. What also concerns me is how these numpties are yet again dipping into the souls of the British people, and it's running its grift when Boris and Sunak and Javid know full well that they're just going to rip another piece of flesh from an already damaged heart. Let's listen to a simple explanation.
The public prefers it because they have an idea that it is some kind of insurance to pay for their pension or to pay for the NHS. But I'm afraid that is just total nonsense. It's just another form of tax, but it only falls on earnings rather than other kind of income, for example, from shares or from renting out properties. And as a result, it's a very unfair tax.
You see, this is going to happen. And I'm pissed off because this figure of 5 billion pales into insignificance when compared to the banker bonuses paid to the big wigs in the banks that were bailed out by those same voters with the cooperation of the same self-serving demigods in Westminster. The estimate for these bonuses paid to the big wigs were as high as 50 billion, while the taxpayer was the one doing the work and those senior banking execs were just creaming it while laughing and sniggering behind their doors behind palatial offices for the greatest scam in modern times. It's just sick. It's just sick. This government chose to target national health insurance and not the more equitable income tax system that is far more appropriate in these circumstances, as it takes account of many aspects of an individual's circumstances, which is the polar opposite of this type of tax. And yet we have this wagon Andrea Leadsom come up with this crap.
I mean, I feel insurance is better than tax raises. That's really all I want to say right now.
This tax is going to hit each and every person in the UK, irrespective of what you earn. This tax will not see or care about either a mortgage being paid, the amount of dependents, an illness, or otherwise. It doesn't care. This increase simply says, yes, if you earn more than X, we want some of it. End of story. And by the way, if you earn more than X, that X is tiny. It doesn't care how much more than X. It conveniently leaves aside from the equation dividends, capital gains tax, rental income. None of that is taken into consideration. So in effect, it's predominantly the working classes that are going to pay for this. And that just isn't fair. This is the same bunch of numpty clowns that have already blown God knows how much money, billions upon billions, building possibly the worst track and trace app. The worst. That's, of course, if we were to believe the pandemic was caused by the app in the first place. What is going on here? I mean, for God's sake, wait a minute here. We all knew this story was going to break. Where are Labour? Why are they not all over this? Where is their messages on Twitter? Where's their messages on Facebook, on their website? I just don't get it. Have the voters been beaten so much that they no longer care? Is the Tory MPs interviewed throughout the last 72 hours are saying in so many words that this is wrong. While at the same time, you have the media outlets saying it's wrong for this tax not to apply to those above the age of 65 because they put more strain on the NHS. I mean, seriously, this is just insulting to those pensioners. Whether working or not, they have paid into the scheme for more than 45 years in most cases. The fact that they paid into the scheme that they didn't use doesn't mean nothing. That's just cast aside. You know, it's ridiculous. These guys were paying into a facility they didn't use for 40 years because they were paying for other generations. I think the world has gone nuts. Bonuses to bankers that acted carelessly were bailed out and paid for by taxpayers. This could pay for the NHS $5 billion a year for the next 10 years. You know, anyway, for me, that's all till later. Please don't forget to subscribe, hit the like. It helps the channel a great deal, and I'll see you on the flip side. You take care.